Autograph Fisherman here, and I have another profile video. Today it is Paul Coffey. He just happens to have 4,036 trading cards. Born June 1st, 1961. Weston, Ontario, Canada. Height 6 feet 0 inches, 183 centimeters. Weight 200 pounds, 91 kilograms, 14 stone 4 pounds. Position defense. Shot left. Played for Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Los Angeles Kings, Detroit Red Wings, Hartford Whalers, Philadelphia Flyers, Chicago Blackhawks, Carolina Hurricanes, Boston Bruins, National Team Canada, NHL Draft 6th overall, 1980, Edmonton Oilers, playing career 1980 to 2001. Paul Patrick Coffey, born June 1st, 1961, is a Canadian former professional ice hockey defenseman who played for 9 teams over 21 seasons in the National Hockey League. Known for his speed and scoring prowess, Coffey ranks second all-time among NHL defensemen in goals, assists, and points, behind only Ray Bourque. He won the James Norris Memorial Trophy as the NHL's best defenseman 3 times and was voted to 8 end-of-season All-Star teams for first team and for second team. He holds a record for the most goals by a defenseman in one season, 48 in 1985-86, and is the only defenseman to have scored 40 goals more than once, also doing it in 1983-84. He is also one of only 2 defensemen to score 100 points in a season more than once, as he did it 5 times. Bobby Orr did it 6 times. Coffey holds or shares 33 NHL records in the regular season and playoffs. During his NHL career, he played for the Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Los Angeles Kings, Detroit Red Wings, Hartford Whalers, Philadelphia Flyers, Carolina Hurricanes, Chicago Blackhawks, and Boston Bruins. He is a 4-time Stanley Cup champion, winning 3 times with Edmonton and a 4th with Pittsburgh. Coffey was born in Weston, Ontario, and grew up in Malton, Ontario. The city of Mississauga renamed Malton Arena to Paul Coffey Arena and Wildwood Park to Paul Coffey Park in a ceremony on September 23, 2016. In 2017, Coffey was named one of the 100 greatest NHL players in history. Playing career. In his youth, Coffey played in the 1974 Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament with a minor ice hockey team from Mississauga. Coffey was drafted 6th overall by the Edmonton Oilers in the 1980 NHL entry draft. He blossomed in the 1981-82 season, scoring 89 points and was named a second-team NHL All-Star. In the Oilers' first Stanley Cup winning season, 1983-84, he became only the second defenseman in NHL history to score 40 goals in a season and added 86 assists to finish second in point scoring. He won his first James Norris Memorial Trophy in 1984-85 while posting 37 goals and 121 points. On December 26, 1984, in a game against the Calgary Flames, Coffey became the last defenseman in the 20th century to score 4 goals in one game. Coffey went on to post a historic postseason in the 1985 playoffs, setting records for most goals, 12, assists 25, and points 37, in one playoff year by a defenseman on the way to another Stanley Cup. He won the Norris Trophy again in 1985-86, while breaking Bobby Orr's record for goals in a season by a defenseman, scoring 48. His 138 points that year was second only to Orr 139 in 1970-71 among defensemen. Coffey helped Edmonton to a 3rd Cup in 1986-87, but the deciding Game 7 of that year's Stanley Cup Finals against the Philadelphia Flyers would be his last in an Oiler uniform. Coffey had 2 years remaining on a contract that paid him a reported $320,000 a year, but held out at the beginning of the 1987-88 season, wanting the contract renegotiated to pay him $800,000 a year. Team owner Peter Pocklington refused to do so and offended Coffey by suggesting he lacked courage when playing. Coffey vowed never put on an Edmonton uniform again and demanded a trade. On November 24, 1987, the Oilers traded Coffey, along with Dave Hunter and Wayne Van Dorp, to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Craig Simpson, Dave Hannon, Mo Mantha, and Chris Joseph. As the Penguins' Rod Buskas was already wearing uniform number 7, Coffey agreed to change his uniform number from 7 to 77. He would wear it for most of the rest of his career until his final season in Boston, where he wore 74. Coffey played 4.5 seasons with Pittsburgh. On December 22, 1990, Coffey became the second defenseman to record 1,000 points, doing so in a record-breaking 770 games. Coffey won a fourth Stanley Cup in 1990 to 91 with Pittsburgh. During the 1992 season, Coffey passed Dennis Potvin to become the career leader in goals, assists, and points by a defenseman. He was then traded to the Los Angeles Kings, where he was reunited with former Oilers teammates Wayne Gretzky and Jari Kurri for parts of 2 seasons. After his brief stint with Los Angeles, he was traded to the Detroit Red Wings, where he played for 3.5 seasons. In the lockout-shortened 1994-95 NHL season, Coffey led his team in scoring for the only time in his entire career and was awarded the Norris Trophy for the 3rd time. In the 1995 playoffs, he led all defensemen in scoring while helping Detroit to the Stanley Cup Finals. However, the favored Red Wings were swept by the New Jersey Devils in 4 games. Coffey would then help the Red Wings to an astounding 62 regular season wins the following year, though the team would ultimately get eliminated by the Colorado Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals. During Game 1 of that series, Coffey scored 2 goals, but also accidentally scored on his own net after Colorado's Stefan Yell attempted to pass the puck into the slot, but instead ended up on Coffey's stick. After a falling out with Red Wings coach Scotty Bowman, Coffey was traded to the Hartford Whalers at the start of the 1996-97 season as part of a package to acquire Brendan Shanahan, a move that Coffey was unhappy with. Coffey only played 20 games for the Whalers before being traded to the Flyers. He played for Philadelphia for a season and a half, reaching the 1997 Stanley Cup Finals, his 7th, against his former team, Detroit. Coffey's final series was not successful, being on the ice for 6 of Detroit's goals, and was in the penalty box for a 7th when the Flyers conceded a power play goal, ending up with no points and being -2 and -3 in the first 2 games. And a hit from Darren McCarty in Game 2 left Coffey sidelined for the rest of the series with a concussion. After a very brief stint, 10 games, with the Chicago Blackhawks, he was traded to the Carolina Hurricanes, where he played 1.5 seasons. He played his final season in 2000-01 with the Boston Bruins. During Coffey's last NHL season, Ray Bourque passed his career goal, assist, and point records, and Bourque and Coffey both retired after the 2000-01 season. Coffey finished with 396 goals, 1135 assists, and 1531 points, and remained second only to Bourque in all-time career scoring by a defenseman. Coffey, however, averaged more points per game than did Bourque, having played 203 fewer games but lagging by only 48 points. Paul Coffey was voted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2004, his first year of eligibility, and the Edmonton Oilers retired his uniform number 7 in 2005. Post-playing career. While coaching a game for the Toronto Marlboros midget AAA team in February 2014, Coffey was assessed a gross misconduct penalty for a discriminatory slur. The Greater Toronto Hockey League investigated the misconduct penalty, and Coffey was handed a 3-game suspension. Coffey is a co-owner of the OJHL's Pickering Panthers. On November 12, 2023, Coffey returned to the Edmonton Oilers as the assistant coach. Personal life. Coffey was the owner of a car dealership in Bolton, Ontario. Coffey and his wife have 3 children. Awards. Named to the OHA's second All-Star Team 1980. Won the James Norris Memorial Trophy 1985, 1986, 1995. Named to the NHL First All-Star Team 1985, 1986, 1989, 1995. Named to the NHL Second All-Star Team 1982, 1983, 1984, 1990. Played in the NHL All-Star Game 1982, 1983, 1984, 1985, 1986, 1988, 1989, 1990, 1991, 1992, 1993, 1994, 1996, 1997. 4-time Stanley Cup champion, 1984, 1985, 1987 with Edmonton, 1991 with Pittsburgh, won Canada Cup, 1984, 1987, 1991 with Canada, named to the Canada Cup All-Star Team, 1984. Inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2004. In 1998, he was ranked number 28 on the Hockey News list of the 100 greatest hockey players. As of 2024, 14th all-time in career points, was 9th when he retired in 2000, but was passed by Mario Lemieux later in the 2000-01 season, Joe Sakic on January 1st, 2007, Jaromir Jagr on October 12th, 2007, Mark Recchi on March 29th, 2011, and Joe Thornton was inducted into the Penguins Hall of Fame on November 15th, 2007, was awarded the Order of Sport, marking his induction into Canada's Sports Hall of Fame 2015. He is one of the 2016 inductees into Legends Row, Mississauga Walk of Fame. NHL records: most goals by a defenseman regular season and playoffs combined, 455. Regular season. Most goals in one season by a defenseman, 48 in 1985-86. Most shorthanded goals in one season by a defenseman, 9 in 1985-86. Most assists in one game by a defenseman, 6 on March 14, 1986. Most points in one game by a defenseman, 8 on March 14, 1986, 2 goals, 6 assists, shared with Tom Bladen 4 goals, 4 assists. Most seasons leading the league in scoring by a defenseman, 8. Fastest defenseman in NHL history to score 1,000 points, 770 games. Fastest defenseman to score 100 points, 59 games, in a single season, shared with Bobby Orr. Longest point-scoring streak by a defenseman, 28 games in 1985-86. Point totals during streak, 16 goals and 39 assists for 55 points. Most 40-goal seasons by a defenseman career, 2. Most 50-assist seasons by a defenseman career, 14. Most 60-assist seasons by a defenseman career, 11. Most 70-assist seasons by a defenseman career, 6. Shared with Bobby Orr. Most 80-point seasons by a defenseman career, 8. Highest goals per game average by a defenseman in one season, 0.608. Highest career assists per game average by a defenseman, 0.806, minimum 750 games. Highest career points per game average by a defenseman, 1.087, minimum 750 games. Only defenseman in NHL history to be selected first-team All-Star playing for 3 different teams. Most PIM by a 1,000-point defenseman, 1,802. Most different teams played on by a 1,000-point scorer, 9, tied with Jaromir Jagr. Playoffs. Most career goals by a defenseman in NHL playoff history, 59. Most career points by a defenseman in NHL playoff history, 196. Most goals by a defenseman, one playoff year, 12 in 1985. Most assists by a defenseman, one playoff year, 25 in 1985, broken by Evan Bouchard in 2024. 17. Most points by a defenseman, one playoff year, 37 in 1985. Most points by a defenseman, one playoff series, 11 in 1985. Most assists by a defenseman, 5 game series, 8 in 1985. Most assists in one period, 3 in 1985. Most career shorthanded goals by a defenseman in NHL playoff history, 6. Most shorthanded goals by a defenseman one playoff year, 2 in 1983 and 1996. Highest plus-minus by a defenseman one playoff year, plus 26 in 1985. Highest goals per game average in one playoff year by a defenseman, 0.667 in 1985, minimum 10 playoff games. Highest assist per game average in one playoff year by a defenseman, 1.389 in 1985, minimum 5 playoff games. Highest points per game average in one playoff year by a defenseman, 2.056 in 1985. Highest career goals per game average in playoffs by a defenseman, 0.304, minimum 75 games. Highest career assists per game average in playoffs by a defenseman, 0.706, minimum 100 games. Highest career points per game average in playoffs by a defenseman, 1.010, minimum 100 games. So that was another profile video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts about Paul Coffey, let me know them in comments. I would love to read them. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. As always, until next time, keep on collecting. Bye.